It's in our nature to protect the ones we love, to stand up to any danger, to be strong and courageous, to always be prepared, to keep our family safe, to be the first line of defense. We are born to protect.
What's up, and welcome to the channel. My name is TechShot, and thank you for joining us. I have Miss TechShot helping us out here today to interrupt our scheduled broadcast because of the things that have happened this past week, and we just want to be supportive for the gun community at this time. There's a lot of new gun owners that are coming in the community, and it's unfortunate circumstances, but you know, we have new people that are coming in this community, and I think it really shows this past week that the Second Amendment is not specific for who it's for, man. I mean, women, black, white, Mexican, it does not matter, man. All kinds of people are joining our community, man, and have been a part of our community for so long, and I think it's just awesome. And yeah, we just want to show our support for everybody and just kind of tell you our experience, because believe it or not, when we started this channel, we were at the back end of the first ammo apocalypse, if you will. And it was pretty bad. So do not ignore that little video that you've seen before we started talking here. If you are a concealed carrier, of course, law-abiding concealed carrier here in the United States, or if you're brand new and you're thinking about carrying, make sure that you have legal financial protection for yourself in case you ever have to use your firearm in self-defense. That is very important. We've had a lot of people sign up through our link here, and I will continue to push those guys because the USCCA has been there for me since 2015, Miss TechShot, and they provide some valuable tools. And what the most valuable thing they provide is making sure that they're there with you from day one. There's no reimbursements with them, which is what you really have to be careful of whenever you have a financial and legal protection program that's geared towards concealed carriers. So please check that link out down below and go over and check them out, see what they can do for you, because it's a really awesome service, training, and all kinds of things that they can provide you. So let's go ahead and get started with the number one thing that I've noticed this week, and that's ammo. So whereas 2 weeks ago I could buy whatever I wanted, now sadly it's all dried up again. So here's my experience from 2014, standing in line up to an hour, waiting on a truck to come in just so I could buy 3 boxes of ammo. Man, that sucks. I mean, that sucks. You're talking about $9 for a little pack of 50, 22 bullets. I mean, something that was like $2 before was $9, and ammo is just dried up. And what I've done, let me be perfectly clear, there are no links. If you're watching us on YouTube, there are no links to ammo or firearms here on YouTube. But what I've done over the past week, links where I will share the best ammo deals that I can find to help people out, because it's going to be really tough right now trying to find that stuff.
The thing you also have to think about with the ammo shortage is how much supply you actually need and what you actually have. So what we're trying to do this year is just buy a little bit of ammo once or twice a week and just make sure that we have a good stockpile at the house, because once something like this happens, it's very, very hard to find ammo, and it's very, very expensive. But you also have to make sure you're thinking about others as well, because We're not the only family who needs ammo. There's other people.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point too, man. But this is the time for the gun community and, you know, all of America to come together. And that's what I'm really hoping for in this whole thing. Not just the gun community, but our entire civilization will put some of the petty stuff behind us and come together. But you got to look out for the guy that's coming in behind you, and don't just stockpile this stuff. Now, I'm not one to tell people what you can and cannot buy. Don't get me wrong there. But what I'm saying is, if you have 10,000 rounds of 9, do you really need to buy out that freaking, you know, your local store and buy them out too? I mean, it's just, don't do that to people, man. There's a lot of new community members coming in. They want to be able to shoot and learn and have the same enjoyments as you. So think about others at times like this, man. It really pays off, and it's gonna help us get through this, because here's the thing, and this will lead us into our next one, which is gun shortages. You're going to notice a lot of this too. You're going to notice a lot of price gouging. And we're in a unique situation because any other time that this has ever happened, we could pretty much depend on the manufacturers to keep up. Now we don't even know if they're going to be manufacturing. So this is like a very unique situation. You're going to see price gouging. You're going to see your ARs, your AKs, your Glocks, your Glock mags, your MMPs. You're going to see these things pretty much drying up everywhere. Give it some time. You already have what you need. Like Miss Headshot said, maybe buy once a month now. You already have what you need. You're good to go. Just be very sparingly with that and understand that it's going to come back. We just have to give ourselves some time. You know, eventually it's going to work itself out again, and these manufacturers are going to be able to keep up with demand. But if you don't have what you need, preparedness obviously is key here, and I've noticed some holes even in our system since all of this has happened. And you know, we're human; it just happens. Miss Headshot has been telling me forever, "Hey, make sure you buy some more 9. Make sure you buy some more." And you get so used to just being able to go in, buy what you need, and leave that things like this happen, and it makes you realize your own holes in your systems, and that's you know, it is what it is. So don't go out there and. Anytime somebody goes out and spends double what an AR is worth or whatever the case may be, it just hurts everybody, because then people think that they can do it, and it takes a long time for these things to pass and the prices to come back down to what they were, if they ever come back down to what they were before.
Along with the ammo shortage, there's also those people who have been prepared and they have a lot of ammo in stock. Say you want to go shooting and just have some fun. Just make sure you maximize the time that you're shooting and the ammo that you're shooting. Don't just go out and blow all this ammo and, you know, go crazy with it. Just make sure you shoot wisely, use what you need, and then when you come back from that shooting trip, just replace what you can and what you've used.
That's a good point, but on the other side of this, you have new shooters. So new shooters are going to need a lot of practice. And to be honest with you, the whole reason we started this channel is to show the progression of new shooters. And I think it's pretty obvious from our beginning days to now how much better we've gotten. But it's taking tens of thousands of rounds to get to that point. So what I would tell you guys is dry fire practice. And this works for pretty much everybody. It doesn't matter if you're new or been doing this for a long time. Dry fire practice is free. Make sure that you're being safe. You're pointing, and use the rules of safety, please. But take a empty brass case, put it on the tip of the muzzle here, and let it sit there. And practice pulling that trigger, getting that motion straight back to the rear. Pick a spot on the wall and just aim your sight at that, and just keep practicing over and over and over until you can get that smooth motion where that casing doesn't fall off anymore. That is great free practice, and you don't have to blow through a bunch of ammo that you just stood in line to, you know, for an hour to get, you know what I mean? So maximize your time. That is an awesome point. Also, if you don't have a safe, this is for new carriers and new people coming into the community. Make sure you have a safe, especially, I mean, if you have kids, obviously, make sure you have the gun locked up safely away from them, but in a way that you can get to it if needed. Right. That's going to be the best practice, but make sure you have a safe and some way that you can easily lock it up and keep it away from kids and anybody else that you do not want messing with it.
For those people who can't afford guns, you know, if they feel like they need to go to the length to steal, they will.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If they get desperate enough.
Yeah. So
it's good to have your gun in a safe.
Right. Yeah, and one good point as well is that we hope that this does not get too bad. We really don't. We hope it gets contained and life can go back to normal. Yeah. Just understand that there's a lot of people that are hurting, that are suffering, and you may notice more robberies in your area. I hope not. But it's certainly, and that's probably another good reason why a lot of people are buying firearms. Not only that, there's some states and cities that are banning the sale of firearms. Okay, so I'm wondering to myself, why are people buying so many firearms and ammo right now? And then I hear that states and cities are banning the sale of firearms. So now you're telling people that you can't come out of your house, you're on lockdown. Oh, and by the way, you can't buy any firearms. What do you think Americans are going to do? They're going to go out and buy a bunch of firearms because you told them not to do that. It's tyrannical. I mean, it really is. You have every right to protect yourself, and that's what we're seeing. A lot of people are saying, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to buy out because I'm a law-abiding citizen. Who are you to tell me that I can't buy it? So that's another thing. Just make sure you're prepared. I've seen holes in our system, like I said before. We have to get ourselves up to speed with some of the holes that we've seen, and I just think that this is a time where the whole gun community can come together, and we will get through this, and this is going to pass just like the other ones have done in the past. I mean, they will pass. We just need to be respectful of each other and look out for one another in crisis like this. So that's pretty much what we have for you, man. If you have any other tips for the community down below, make sure you guys are being respectful to one another. If you have any tips for new gun owners coming in, please leave them down below. Thank you all for the support. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.